Hey guys, Red Pen Mining here. Hope you're doing well, having a really great day this video. Alright, I have just been sent one of these little LAN mods for the NerdQaxe++, or even the OctAxes. This is an Ethernet adapter, essentially, to basically allow us to have lower latency, stable pool connection, fewer drop packets, and improved long-term performance. So instead of using Wi-Fi, which a lot of these devices have, we're gonna instead use Ethernet. So this device allows us to enable that. And so I'm gonna try that out today. I do want to show the difference in terms of the milliseconds on average, which I'm getting on Wi-Fi right now, which I am solo mining to my own local Bitcoin Cash node. So on my NerdQaxe++ just now, this Rev 6.1 version, I am getting about 2.57 milliseconds through Wi-Fi. So once we add this adapter in, I want to show that difference. I wonder if we'll get like 1 millisecond. So we'll see that difference there later on in this video when we install this adapter. So thank you to Crypto Machine Shop for sending me this little device here. They are a BitAxe and NerdQaxe upgrade supply store. So if you guys are looking for any accessories or anything like that, or this LAN mod that we're about to try, check out cryptomachineshop.com. Thanks to them. Okay, so let's get started here. The LAN adapter is about $30 on their website, and it is compatible with the following miners: a NerdQaxe, NerdQaxe+, NerdQaxe++, OctAxe, OctAxe Gammas, and whatnot, but they're not compatible with the NerdQaxe series. So if you do plan on buying this, make sure it is compatible. So what is included is an ESP extension, ribbon cable, Ethernet module, and a 3D printed case. So that is what we got here. We have the ribbon cable, we have the LAN module right here, we got the ESP extender. Okay, so this basically goes in between. It's like a kind of like a bridge in between the screen and this adapter so that the ribbon cable can go into here. So you know what? Let's just get this thing installed right now on my NerdQaxe++. So I'm gonna turn this off. Okay, I'm just gonna unplug everything, make sure no power, residual power is in this thing. Okay, give it a few seconds, and then now I'm going to unplug this here. Okay, this is the ESP32, the LilyGo LED screen, and so this is where I'm going to install this part here. Now we can either install the screen first or just simply install this right onto the NerdQaxe++ right at the top here. Okay, so I'm going to do that first. And so the ribbon side, I guess where the cable is going to go into, is going to be facing upward like this. So I'm going to do that. Push it in. Okay, so it's going to look just like that, as you guys can see. Okay, just show you there, that's how it plugs in. Okay, now I'm gonna be plugging in the LilyGo screen, like so. It just goes right on top of it. Push that in. Okay, that is in, just to show you guys here. Okay, so it's kind of like a bridge, okay, like an adapter for the ribbon cable for the LAN mod. It's gonna go just like that. I forgot to mention, they did send me a new case as well. They do have this available on their site as an added accessory. So you can get the initial case for it when you order the LAN mod, but they do offer the stand as well for the NerdQaxe. So I'll swap that over in a sec just to show you guys what that looks like. Okay, I just swapped it over. All right, so this is the case that comes from the Crypto Machine Shop here. Here is the bottom portion of it. Okay, so this is where the LAN mod is gonna go in. So you can actually open this up, okay, just like so. And then we can actually just put it in right now, like so. Okay, just like that. It's just gonna rest in there like so. Okay, that's pretty cool. We can put this on. Actually, we still have to put the ribbon cable on, but just to show you guys the case here. So I did have an issue regarding, I have a Rev 6.1 NerdQaxe++ here. So it did come with another fan, but looks like there isn't, the spacing for the screws isn't quite the same for this fan. So looks like that's not going to fit directly on there. Looks like I'm gonna have to screw in 2 new holes in the back here, fit this fan, which I'm gonna do later. Anyways, let's just put it together, and there we go, just like so. Okay, so now it can stand by itself, and it's freestanding like this. Okay, so it looks pretty interesting with the bridge or the adapter up here. Okay, now we're gonna install the ribbon cable. like so, right here. Then the other part of the ribbon cable is gonna go into the LAN adapter. Yellow connector right there, okay, the other part of the ribbon. So we're just gonna put it in like so. Push that in, all right, just like that. Okay, so that's all pushed in now, just like that. Okay, so now I'm gonna put the lid back on. And that's it. That's how, okay, that looks pretty cool actually. All right, so it's like it's kind of like hidden away in the back. And then now we can put the Ethernet cable right into it, which is cool. Yeah, there we go. Okay. All right, we're set to go. So I don't think it's gonna work out of the box, but it says you need to flash the modified ESP miner firmware from GitHub to your device to enable the LAN mode. Okay, so let me just turn it on and we'll just see if it recognizes it. I don't think it will, but let's just see what happens here. Gonna plug it in, plug in the power now. Okay. All right, it's turning on. LilyGo has a light there. Does the Ethernet have a light? Yes, Ethernet has a light there, as you guys can see. That's pretty cool. All right, I'm excited for lower latency here, So did it work? No, I still see my Wi-Fi address here at the top. So looks like I'm gonna have to flash the firmware on this. Okay, so how to do that? Let's do that right now. I need to take off the LilyGo screen, and looks like we're gonna need to plug into the USB port here to use the web flasher. So let me turn it off, and then we're just going to take this off. Okay, so the process of flashing this to the so LAN mod can work. We're just going to take out the screen portion, okay? So we're just going to take this, and now we need a USB-C to a USB cable so it can recognize in the computer. So let's go to my computer now. Okay, I'm at my computer. I have a USB cable going into USB-C. And all right, so it's all plugged in, ready to go. This is PSU fault, obviously, because we don't have anything plugged in. Now, I'll have this link down below, the version 3.4 LAN Mod firmware here. Okay, this is from Crypto Machine Shop's website. This is the link to there. So I'm gonna be installing it through the pre-compiled firmware. Please head on over to the web flasher and select 3.4 for your device. All right, so there's a link here, which again, I'll have linked down below. And it's gonna bring me to this Tech Nerd Army web flasher. So we're gonna click connect via USB, and you may see this come up, and I think it's probably gonna be this USB JTAG one. I'm gonna hit connect. Now it looks like, oh, it says it's reading something. Okay, console output ESP32. Okay, it says connected, so that's all good. Now I'm gonna select my device here. We have a NerdQaxe++. All right, and then we're gonna go to version 3.4.3 or 3.5. Oh, 10,000 sats. Oh, it looks like they have a new version, but 3.5 looks like there is a new version. So from 3.4 to 3.5, which is good, but then looks like they have a paid version to 4.3. Interesting. But anyways, okay, we're just gonna go 3.5. Extra freedom cost. Okay, generate invoice. Sure. Payment confirmed. Okay, it didn't cost anything because I guess, yeah, we're not doing the paid one there. Okay, so now flash your freedom tool. Okay, so we're gonna start flashing now. All right, so now it's downloading the firmware into the ESP32. Just verifying here, it looks like it did turn off. So it looks like it is going. Don't take it out or unplug it because it's gonna go through its firmware update now. It says after flash says complete, screen will take 30 seconds to boot. All right, so let's just give it a good couple minutes. It's writing onto the ESP32, flashing. Okay, it says flash complete. All right, let me see what it looks like. Okay, it said flash complete. So now I'm gonna wait till it says reboot complete. I think that's what it said before. So once it goes in, then I'm gonna unplug it. Then we're gonna plug this back into the NerdQaxe++. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, we're back. I put the screen in. All right, so let's go ahead and let's turn this thing on. See if it will work with Ethernet now. Okay, with this firmware update. Here we go. Okay, I just plugged it in. Okay, it just came up and it says connect to the following Wi-Fi network and set up your miner. Okay, I did read the instructions. It looks like we're gonna need to connect to it Wi-Fi first. Because it's on a new firmware, it's basically setting up like brand new. Then we need to go with the settings to enable the LAN. Okay, connecting to my NerdQaxe++ here. Then hopefully I can then go to the DHCP, the settings area. Okay, so this looks familiar, the web GUI of the NerdQaxe++. So let's go to the settings here. Let's go to settings, I believe. Okay, network mode, there we go. Wi-Fi, and then Ethernet. All right, changing the network mode requires a device restart. So let's go Ethernet. Okay, so device will restart to apply. All right, perfect. Okay, so we got to restart the machine now. Let's go to restart. And there we go. Okay, it kicked me out. Looks like it's rebooting now. Let's see if we can get a Ethernet address. And yes, we did. Look at that. I'm getting my local LAN IP address right there, 10.70.0.100. All right, so it's not on Wi-Fi. It is on Ethernet now. Okay, so that's all well and good. So now, let me input my local Bitcoin Cash node settings on this thing so that we can see what the latency is. Okay, so be right back. Okay, it's mining to my local node, and let's see what the latency is now. There we go, 1.29 milliseconds ping on average there. I did do a ping test there. It says I was getting 1.67 milliseconds to my local node. So that's definitely better than what we were getting before through Wi-Fi, which I think was like 2 to 3 milliseconds, 2.5, 3 milliseconds. I know that if I was, Wi-Fi mining to ckpool.org, I would also have like maybe a 13, 15 millisecond ping time to that pool. I do have fiber internet here, so I mean, it works. I mean, the LAN mod does work. We are getting faster latency to my local node now. It looks like it's going up there a bit, but looks like I'm gonna be around 1.6 milliseconds now versus the 2.5, 3 milliseconds I had before on Wi-Fi. So I love it. This mod, it works. It actually does work. I mean, we all know that wired internet is going to be a lot better, more stable for solo mining and latency as well. So this is pretty cool. Thank you to Crypto Machine Shop for sending this to me. This is really cool to set up and see it work in action. I was just reflecting on previous other solo miners. I mean, you all know the Nano 3S. This one has the USB port so that you could plug in a USB to Ethernet adapter, which I did on the Nano 3S. So it's kind of similar idea, right? Except I guess you would say this is a closed-sourced operating system from Canon on these devices. Unlike the NerdQaxes, right? The firmware for these things are open source. So this is why a lot of people love the modular ability to, add in something like this, say LAN mod for your solo Bitcoin miners. So I think this is a really great option. Man, I do want to try this on my Octax. Maybe I'll give that a try in another video. But otherwise, my friends, let me know your guys' thoughts about this. Again, if you're interested, go check them out, cryptomachinesshop.com. Looks like my wired latency there is 1.5 milliseconds. I wish I was getting a little bit better, like maybe 1 millisecond. I think it's because I do have a network switch that I'm going through, a couple of switches I'm actually going through in my area here, so I am hooked up to a few other devices on this switch. But I think this is cool. All right, you guys, let me know your thoughts. Have a good one. Peace out. Peace out. Still storing your crypto on exchanges? That's risky. This is the Red Panda Tangem card. Simple, secure, and built for real self-custody. No seed phrases, no complicated setups. Just tap your card, manage your crypto, and you're in control instantly. Secure chip technology keeps your assets protected, even offline. I've tested a lot of hardware wallets, and this is by far one of the easiest ways to get started. If you want true ownership of your crypto, check out the Red Panda Tangem card below. Simple, secure, self-custody. Use code RPM for another 10% off. Link in the video description below.